Hey everyone! Okay, just give me a moment. Making sure I can access this live as well on Instagram so that more people can join me today. And I'm just gonna double check right now to see if you can see me in the Siren Goddess Collective. Okay, perfect. All right, darling ones. So just hopping on to make sure everything is good and beautiful. And if you're here live on the Wake Up Goddess 3-day activation, say hello. I would love to hear where you're from and what you do as your sacred work. And if you're on a replay, just say hello, replay. Hashtag replay is always the game that we kind of play here. So it'll be really nice to hear from you again. I certainly feel like I've been here and then not really been live as often. Live just got in the way. So I'm really, really happy that I got this divine download to literally do this 3-day activation. And the inspiration behind it is simply that I really felt this huge wave of energy coming up for me, where I really deeply felt the need to really wake people up. And in particular, women, because women are the beautiful divine beings that I enjoy and really resonate with working with. So I'm here to really serve that up to you. And if you're live and with me, just say hello because I can't see you. I just want you to know that I'm acknowledging you. I know you're here. And if you want to say hello, just say that in the comments. You know, it's always nice to really connect with you. And how is my crown looking, everyone? How is my crown looking, guys? If you like it, just give me a little heart. I love that. So, I'm like, oh, oh, lots of throat chakra energy coming through. So, just to take a moment here, I'm just gonna ground all of us because today, on day one, we're going to talk about abundance. And if this is your first time here with me, I know there are several new faces. It's really interesting because I've seen people leaving the group and then there are new people coming in swiftly after. It's just one of those things, right? About life, you know, really accepting the flow of life. The fact that I'm like a river and the river needs to cleanse, it needs to purge, and it needs to flow in a beautiful way. And in the same way, people in my life have been doing pretty much the same. So welcome, welcome, welcome to all the beautiful beings who are here to shepherd in and steward the divine new generation and new era of women who show up fully as the divine healer and light leader and vision keeper that you truly are. And if you don't know me, welcome. My name is Li Ying. I am a divine energy alchemist, a ceremonial keeper of the way of tea, and I am also a sacred transformation mentor. I help creative feminine leaders to live on purpose in their authentic power so that they fully align with abundance, freedom, and unstoppable vision. So, today, obviously, I want to talk about abundance. And first and foremost, I just want you to feel into your heart space and allow your heart to just deeply inhale all the love that you can summon up right now in your body. Just bring into your mind, bring into your heart space right here a moment or a person or something that deeply, deeply gives you that joyful love completely, unabashedly, unabandonedly. Let's just put it that way. And put that in right here. Deep inhale. And then as you exhale, I want you to exhale through your nose, out through this beautiful channel that runs down from top of your head down to the earth. Very well, very good. And I just want you to really come into this space and listen to this beautiful Zen saying that truth is complete and actualized in this very moment where all time and space exist. And this is something I really wanted to use and share to kick off today's session, because abundance is something that everyone wants to tap into. Everyone wants to crack the code of abundance. But what I'm here to do is, my hope is to serve up something that runs deeper than the whole idea of abundance as money. I want you to really, really feel into the fact that abundance is also really acknowledging and embracing the truth of who you are, your health, your wealth, especially your health. And because this is a wake-up call, I can get a little bit tougher, and this is tough love, mind you. I love all of you, and I serve this up in the hopes that you will really wake the fuck up. And sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow. And this is the reason why I really find that coming into this space, let's just put aside whether you work with me or not, or whether you do work with me right now, because I do have some clients here. Put that aside and just really, really come into this space to receive. And you don't have to do anything to receive. Receive by doing nothing. I just want you to keep an open heart. I want you to open your mind. And you don't have to agree with what I have to say. Simply just come with curiosity. And just kind of go like, she said that. That's interesting. It's activating something in me. Why is that? And one of the things I really want to share is that when I come to this space and I share the wisdom that I'm able to embody, and that I am so grateful to carry on from many, many different masters and mentors and teachers, I come in here telling you that I'm not here to fix you or change you. I really am not. I'm simply here to really awaken you to your wholeness. And abundance, first and foremost, let's get this out of the way, shall we? Abundance is your birthright. We are all born to be abundant. You've probably heard of this 1,000,000,000,000 times. But what is the reason that you are not able to command that into your life now? What is the reason that you feel that you don't have abundance? Because chances are, if you're listening to me right now, you're probably thinking, how can I get more abundant? How can I tap into those abundant codes, right? My wish is for you to remember that you have that birthright. Because when you really remember, it isn't about intellectually getting it. It's truly about embodying it at every level, in every fiber of your being. You know that, of course I'm abundant. Of course there is no need to worry about a day that will go by where I have not enough. And it is a tall order, right? For people like us who've grown up, I definitely have come from a family where, growing up, I've always been told that, money doesn't grow on trees. You have to save up for a rainy day. All of these things that we've been taught. And I'm pretty sure you come from that sort of background or similar, right? So what does abundance mean to you? Because to me right now, abundance means truly a resonance with gratitude, a resonance with being alive, and a knowing that feels like home. It feels like something that is not like, something really special, like a lottery ticket that happened, like just like that. It feels like it's always been here. And I was thinking about how I'm going to present the codes for today, and I was really amazed because not too long ago, really, I was pretty much sitting in my own scarcity pool of shithole. Let's just put it that way. And if you're new to me, yes, I do swear, so if that's not your jam, my apologies, and maybe you can tune off. When I talk about abundance, it really is so important to bring you back to a time when I firstly was growing up in a family where everything was about saving up. Everything was about it's never enough. We have to work harder all the time. We have to hustle, and we cannot ever risk losing anything. So we have to keep holding on and holding on, even though that something is pretty mediocre and it's not exactly what we want. We just kind of settle because we're so worried and afraid that nothing better will come along. And I grew up pretty much in that environment myself. And that was pretty much the focal point of how I constructed my reality. And remember, everyone, this is something we're going to dive deeper in the next 2 days. What you focus on amplifies. It doesn't matter whether it's a negative or a positive energy or thought, it just does. That's how powerful we are as a creatrix. And if you're new to this realm, yes, I want you to know that you are a creatrix. Every single thing in your life right now, you create it, and you can absolutely create a different reality if you so choose, right? This is so important to understand because, for my case, I was a victim for a long time. I played the victim card. I played the victim card very well. I was always blaming it on something. My anorexia, my relationship with my mom, my non-existent relationship with my mom, or even my father who's been always away, all kinds of things, down to, who I am culturally and racially even, or where I was born. I always felt like that disadvantaged me. Until I realized I was just so sick and tired of my own complaints. Like, I was just so tired of it. Like, I literally had a moment where I made my first investment in myself. And I can tell you 100% honestly, I regretted it. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I made this investment into a coaching program that completely was not aligned with who I am and what I do, and it's not working for me. Blah, 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 blah. I blamed it on the coach. I blamed it everywhere and anyone that would listen. That was my story. Until a couple of months later, I got really, really sick and tired of my own complaints. And I realized that everything was stagnating in my life, including my marriage. And one of those big moments of like an aha moment was when I was out going on my way for dinner, and my husband was jokingly saying like, oh, it's gonna be like your treat, right? And I just completely flipped out. I was like, I don't have money coming in. I don't have anything, and you're asking me to pay for dinner. Like, what the fuck? And he was like, well, firstly, it's just a joke. And also, that kind of reaction is not okay. It's not you. It's not normal. It's just not the person I know you are. And that kind of broke me down completely. And at that point, I have moved into this city. I'm in Edinburgh right now, but I was previously living in a couple of different cities, including Hong Kong. And everything I did, I was really in that space of hustling and saving up, and I was really proud of it. That was my identity. That was who I am. That was who I was, at least. And so coming into the space where I had to completely surrender and not know when the next income was going to come, and also trying to build a life in a city that is new to me, I was terrified. And my husband has been completely supportive in that sense. We're not rich by any means, but we're comfortable. We're happy. We can do what we want to do if we wanted to. And yet I was living like a pauper. I was living in an impoverished mind, completely overwhelmed by scarcity, by victimhood. And I think that honestly, I feel that moment was it for me, where I realized that, oh my goodness, I am completely consumed by this scarcity and victimhood mentality had completely wiped out who I really am, and my dreams had become so small, like tiny. All those dreams that I will be out there sharing my ceremony, being in service, traveling the world, serving, becoming a mentor to women and changing their lives and transforming lives, all of those were thrown out the window. Like those didn't even exist in my small, scarcity driven mind because I was so scared of losing again. That was it. That was the voice. So scared of losing again. Like, what the fuck? Right? So that's not an abundance mindset, right? I mean, I'm sure you're pretty, it's pretty obvious to you. I just want to bring that to your attention because it's so easy for us all to fall into that little, sickly, sticky spot because I was there for a couple of months. I was there because I played the victim card. It's like if I could continue blaming it on someone else, then I don't have to take up the responsibility. And this is so important, and I want you to know this. I'm saying this with so much love because in another scenario I've seen a lot of times is that there is an identity attachment to something that you have had for a long time in your life. Whether that you rose from poverty into somewhere that's wealthier, or that you have had a disease or maybe some kind of disorder in your life, and your identity is so attached to that, you've had a lot of attention given to you because of that, and it becomes so hard for you to extricate yourself from it, even though the solution is presented before you. And I want to say this with so much love because, firstly, I grew up with parents who have come from impoverished states, like literally impoverished, like living in a sublet place. Like it's just amazing to see them rise from poverty into where they are today. And that was their story. That was their, rags to riches story. And they have always lived with that resonance for a long time until now that they're like in their 60s and their 70s, that they can finally, I can see that they're just like catching their breath and actually allowing themselves to relax and have fun. Secondly, those who are attached to disorders and diseases, anything that is in your body, basically it's an acidic environment in your body that is causing that to happen. And when I say acidic, I mean in a sense where it's become the body's priority to keep you in survival. And an acidic environment in your body can be created by negative thoughts, victimhood mentality, obviously, as well as your nutrition. It's not just all about nutrition because you can be eating the best food. If you're eating with contempt and guilt and shame, it's still creating an acidic environment in your body. And so any kinds of disease or disorders or just ailments in general is also an indication that energy is not flowing in your body. And if you know my work, I'm an energy alchemist. And so what I do with my clients is that we alchemize any blocks in your body on an energy basis. And it's truly about energetically embodying who you really are so that you're not overly controlled by the mind. Because the mind does all these things where it feels that it needs to do because it thinks that it's alone. Like, I need to do all of these things, like I'm not going to listen to anything else that's going on. And a lot of people who are attached to their minds, which is really common in the entrepreneur world that I'm in right now, and I'm here, that's why really helping creative feminine leaders to rise. It is important to understand that your mind needs to be integrated with the body, and your breath is spirit. So when you have mind, body, and spirit integrated, you live in a more integrative way. You live in a more integrative way where you allow yourself to finally come into this vortex of stillness, and you live in that stillness, so that when you go and take actions, when you make decisions, you can quickly know what is a no and what is a yes. So the stillness and the calmness that you feel is incredibly, incredibly important in understanding who you really are. So that is why I talk so much about, you know, what is your definition of the words that we use? Because, for example, today we're talking about abundance, but abundance can mean many, many different things, right? It can mean wealth to you. It can mean an abundance of relationships. It can mean an abundance of peace. You know, people who don't have peace in their lives, they want to have a bit of that, right? So everyone has a different perception. And what clouds your perception, what colors your perception, are mostly your subconscious beliefs, the conditioning and programming that you were given when you were raised as a child, and all the different experiences that are coming to you. And we oftentimes call that like a bear that's coming towards you. The bear itself can be real, it can be imagined, it can be remembered. It doesn't matter, because the body perceives it in the same way. And so it creates this emergency state in your body, and in effect, it slides through and creates a fight and flight response. And if your body never gets the message that it's done and it's safe to go back into your creative genius flow, which is your birthright, which is your normal capacity as a human being, by the way, to receive the cosmic light, to live as a divine here on earth, if you never got the message that it's safe to do so, then you will consistently be operating at a place where the body is always struggling to put you in a space of survival. Survivorship is always the body's priority. And so my question to you is, you know, when we talk about abundance, I want to know, what is your relationship to that word? What is abundance bringing up in your body? What are you feeling when I say abundance? Right? Just tap into your body for a moment here. Like, do you feel any tension coming through? Do you feel an opening when I say abundance? What is it, right? So the reason why I talk so much about it is because I really want to wake you up to the fact that, you know, we all have those fears. You know, we think that it's fear, but it's actually the butterfly in our stomach. Abundance standing in front of us, and you being able to perceive that, you have to really clear the tank of all those things that color your perception. Because abundance can be right in front of you, and you won't be able to see it if you keep that self-sabotaging way of yours. It can be, oh, I'm so scared of success, and so I'm going to not, you know, do that. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna launch this. I'm not gonna share that artwork, or I'm not gonna, you know, start working on the book that I want to work on. All those things, you know. And it could even be a sabotage of your own relationships, you know. And another thing that I really, really want you to know is that it's okay to acknowledge that you are afraid. It's okay to acknowledge that you don't even know what abundance feels like. Because the moment we acknowledge any of those fears and rejected sides of us, man, it's like we open up a doorway that we can finally receive. You can finally receive the healing that you need, right? If we keep ourselves stuffed away and we keep piling on those subconscious unresolvedness, yeah, it will keep piling up, and eventually it will paralyze us. It will paralyze us to the point where, you'll be, I don't know, like the usual things that you see in the world, trying to numb ourselves out, running away, escaping from responsibilities, um, on the surface looking like, yeah, you agree to everything, but actually beneath all of that, you are operating on this huge judgment, toxicity, and it has to be cleaned up, because otherwise, yes, it will affect your health. One, chronic diseases, that's the whole thing. Secondly, you're not going to be living on purpose. And the whole point of my work, obviously, is to help you to live on purpose in your own authentic power, because let's face it, there are tens and thousands of coaches out there who's going to teach you how to be living on purpose in your authentic power, or not. Because it's a strategy, right? And I know that, yes, what's the reason? Like, why would you work with me? The beauty of the work that I do, honestly, hand on heart, firstly, it's something I live and breathe. And coming from a space where I shared my story, where I was deeply entrenched in poverty and scarcity mentality and victimhood mentality, and also from a space where I was anorexic for a long time, deeply and completely disconnected from my body, I know, coming into this space, doing the work that I do now, all those journey, the Tao that led me to this, like being, like really coming back on course, it has opened many doorways to lead me to the gateway of my wholeness, for me to finally put together this beautifully designed space where I understand that a woman fears her rejected parts because she's ignorant of the darkness, and all of the conditioning and programming have made us believe that we have to reject ourselves. And that's not good. That has to stop. Because not only are we all self-criticizing, we are also taking our sisters down. And then thirdly, we are living in such smallness when we are actually meant to have abundance and abundance and abundance and more abundance in our lives. So it's deeply in servitude and also in service, let's just put it that way, that I come in here all the time to talk about the work that I do, because what I work with is ceremony. I'm the shaman who climbs the proverbial tree up into the heaven's gates to draw down the insights and the downloads that you need to know. And then I serve it up with truly something that is here to ground you. Because what I see so often, and I have experienced myself as an empath and a psychic and a magical witch and goddess, right? Because you are too, by the way. A vision keeper and a light leader is absolutely someone who can see beyond the realms. And this is a gift, by the way. It's not something here to harm you. And to amplify that gift is so easy. This is part of the work that I do here. But I also add on the embodied wisdom that you can carry within you, so that you can land here. You can manifest the abundance, the freedom, and the vision here. Because whatever we talk about as a vision and an imagination and intention, they are spirit. It's got to come in here into matter, so that it's here in this dimension for you to experience and to create an environment that is conducive for you to thrive, not survive. We've got to stop living on a survival mode. if we are truly leaders, we've got to walk our talk. We've got to do that beautiful work of learning to unlearn so that we can learn again to act in Wu Wei, to act in Wu Wei in the sense that we are acting from alignment, not from hustle, not from bustle, not from like this desperate need to please everyone or the desperate need to chase down 10 other clients this month. Even if you do, you won't feel that sense of satisfaction, and you almost always feel like a fraud or an imposter. Why? Because it's not aligned. It's not on purpose. And this is why the work of embodying who you really are, your divinity, right? Piercing through the veils, allowing the cosmic energy, the cosmic life force to channel down and rise back up through you in that divine crystalline, similarly crystalline light. It requires you to do the alchemy of inner work. Because the moment you don't want to look at something, the moment you are ashamed of something, the moment that you're guilty and judgmental, that is the moment when you just veered off course. So my work as a mentor is really to bring you back on course, to bring you back on your Tao, your Dharma, so that you're never, you can skid off. Trust me, as human beings, we're just humaning. We skid off. But my work here is to teach you to live and breathe your Tao so that you're living on purpose no matter what, and always in your authentic power, always. And you don't need that strategy. You don't need, I don't know, like all those things people say that you have to be, because you are a creative feminine leader. You're not meant to follow in the footsteps of a certain someone. You're here to create your own destiny. So let your soul purpose come forward fully, because if you don't, you will never live fully here. So the work we do in ceremony, with beautiful tea medicine, the work that we do with goddess embodiment practices, the work that we do to integrate mind, body, and soul, so that you remember through your body, you can listen to the language of your soul, and through your mind, you teach your mind, you train your mind to find and follow you. Then you will be working with the goddesses, you will be working with the divine light. You'll be able to bring that down here in this dimension and live as the multidimensional being that you really are. Because there are many creative feminine leaders I've seen, creative feminine women, let's just put it that way, who are completely illuminated. They opened their third eye, they activated their light worker skills, they're amazing. But they just can't anchor that in. And the reason why is because there are these subconscious beliefs and these subconscious dissonance that are causing a little bit of a havoc inside of you, a little bit or a lot, depending on how long you've been doing it. And they can be so insidious. So the work that I do is energetic. We're not going to go through a therapy, like years and years of it, but we're going to work on your energy. I'm going to connect the lines back to your ancestry. We're going to work with your ancestors. We're going to work with the deep Taoist alchemy, connecting to the cosmic orbits that are within you. That is a similar pattern to the bigger cosmic orbits are in the universe. Because we are all the universe, right? We are always expanding. So we have to allow that to happen and anchor in that expansion, because otherwise you'll be flying off the rails. This is what it means for people who are like, I'm going so well, and then suddenly one day I had this accident and everything just happened, or like I lost that company, or I lost this and everything. Why? Because you never anchored in the true expanded version of who you are. And so the universe will always keep serving it up to you until you actually get it. The Tao is a compassionate teacher. I always say this. Compassionate in the sense that it really does keep coming back so patiently to teach you until you get it. It's the same thing with abundance. The minute you hit the right vibrational match, abundance just flows. Abundance comes to you wherever you go, and it's a truth, right? So if you're hearing me and you're like, no, that's not true, there is something in your subconscious that we need to unplug. And so if that is something you want to do, and that is something you're ready for, because it does take work, it's a co-creation, me and you together. It's not something that just come in, swoop in and clear and then you're done. Because I want this to land for you. I want you to take this skill set with you for life. And a lot of my clients, I always tell them, like, if your work is done here, I don't need you to stay on. And so I'm very, very honest about this work. And yes, I'm very, very powerful in that sense. But I want you to pick that up for yourself. I want you to learn that too. And so if this is for you, absolutely DM me, comment down below. I'll drop you a link to book a call with me. Or you can join me on my 2-day VIP retreat. It's called Rebirth, because we're going to go down into that deep alchemical soul where we're going to go deep. We're going to go into those energetic dissonance that I talked about, and we're going to release them. And then we're going to anchor in the new vibrational frequency that you're going to pick up, so that you call in the abundance, you call in the freedom, and you activate that unstoppable vision without any judgment or need to meet some kind of expectation. Because the truth is, we are all standing in our own ways when we do that. And we don't need that anymore in this time of the year, really. Because if you have something you truly want to create, it's time to step out. There's no more waiting. The waiting to be perfect, the waiting to be ready, that's just because your mind cannot ever fathom something that it has never experienced before. That is why flying on the wings of a mentor is going to help you to accelerate the process, because it shows you things that you have never seen before. And then your mind gets that, oh, actually, it's possible for me too. So, Divine One, I'm going to sign off here for today. I'm actually really excited to talk about freedom tomorrow. And then on the third day, we're going to talk about unstoppable vision. Like, my wake-up calls can be sometimes really big for some people, and then some people just get really triggered. But I'm here to serve it. I'm here to serve it up. So today, I'm just going to ask you, are you done with your victimhood mentality? Are you done with not feeling like you're never enough? Right? Because you are ready. Your birthright is abundance. Let it be known. Let it be known that once you get the vibrational match, everything will come. Trust it, because it happened for me. It happened for my clients. And yes, if there are those moments where you doubt yourself and you judge yourself, those are moments for us to see, to heal. And I'm here for it. I'll help you to alchemize your pain into purpose. This is my superpower, and I'm so, so delighted and grateful to share. All right, my loves, big kisses. I'll see you tomorrow, and I can't wait to serve up the next session of activation. All right, big kisses. Sending you all my love.